And can I have your paper? Oh, here.
The paper should be being passed around. There we go.
One. Can I have them?
We're ready to begin. Welcome everyone to our final day of presentations. And I'd like to introduce Kwang Ho, who's going to be talking about the reason of our lives. And it's with great pleasure to get the floor. Our final guest, is it?
Hi everybody. I want to talk about reason and our life today. Okay, I will start with a short movie.
How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?
What is happening to me?
The answer is not there, Neo. It's the question that drives us.
What is the Matrix?
The Matrix is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
They're watching you, Neo.
Human beings are a disease. You are a cancer of this planet. And we are the cure. Get me the hell out of here!
Welcome to the real world.
So you're here to save the world. So what do you need? Guns. Lots of guns.
No one has ever done anything like this.
That's why it's going to work.
Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy. Because Kansas is going bye-bye.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
Today my topic is about the reason, and even though we are living in the world of reason, we usually don't recognize what is reason and how our society is consisted of. So I want to introduce you about these ideas. So about the reason. Do you think reason is always true from all point of views? There is a story called Les Miserables, and the main character here is called Jang Gwaljang in Korea. He stole some food to give food to his nephew from dying of hunger, and he went to jail for that commitment and spent 19 years at the jail. So from our point of view, it is a crime because he stole some foods from a store. But what about from his point of view? He wasn't actually did any harm to it, didn't do any harm to it. So he might act reasonably, and he might not be a criminal. This is very confusing because we have to define reason and maintain society to make a safe world. So this picture here is the picture of Supreme Court in Korea, and you can see all the matrices here. These represents the reasons, and they have to adjust many cases by reason. And although they consist of many specialized people, the decision may not seem always true for all people. It might be true to some people, but it's not true for other people. And I want to discuss about why this happens. Okay. Topic is this. Reason is limited to our senses. Many people argue that reason is the world of heaven and is entirely true, but I think reason is limited to our senses and it's only a part of us that consists. So, it is very natural that to say that 1 + 1 is 2, right? And is it really true for all point of view? So let's discuss about it. So think of the time when you're happy and think of the time you're sad. Is it the same length? Come on, no. I don't think it's the same length. This different point of view is very important in deciding the reason whether it is true or not. So scientists argue that they can make a time machine, right? And is this really true? So I need one volunteer to do some experiment. Anyone? Okay. Okay. Who was your what was your best friend in elementary school like?
Pam Jones, and she lived across the street from me, and she had a great sense of humor and a really annoying little brother.
Then what do you think you will do in 10 years later?
10 years from now,
Yeah.
what I'm doing right now, and all over the world.
Okay, thank you. That was a simple experiment. She just did some. She just went on the time machine and went to her past and went to her future. So that's what time machine is. It's different from all point of views. Okay, there are some real life examples. I searched on the internet and found that $1 million could save the lives of 70,000 children dying of hunger. So let's talk about this election. In this election, Obama spent about $272 million for his advertisement, and McCain used about $122 million for his advertisement. So what is the result? Obama could have saved 90 million children dying of hunger, and McCain could have saved 8 million children died of hunger. So is it really reasonable? Even though the politician who has to be very reasonable, isn't that reasonable from my point of view? So this is why I argue that reason is limited to our senses, because they can't manage the portion that they don't recognize it, so they had to make a wrong decision from other point of views. Let's talk about war in Iraq. America spent about $400 billion in Iraq war. So how much is that money? Anyone just tell me how much that money is? About $400 billion.
July. I can calculate.
It's worth of saving 6 million children dying of hunger for next 4,700 years. It's really amazing amount of money. And let's say the United States invested only half of that money, $200 billion to save the children and make harbors, roads, and schools and markets in developing countries. What would the result be like? Would it make another hatred that makes terrorism? Or would it make people move and follow America? So this is very, very confusing problem, and they have to make their decisions more reasonably, caring others. So this is what I'm calling about an ambition. Obama, what is important, ambition or life? Obama and McCain used totally about $400 million to achieve their ambition, but as a result, they had to give so much lives that they could have saved. Okay, so mind and reason is important parts. So I'm arguing that reason is only a part of our body. So if you draw a body here, the reasonable part in our body is only this portion. This portion of our body is reasonable, and rest other part of our body is not. That can't be said. I explained as reasonable. So what does it mean? If you stick for being reasonable, then you have to neglect rest of the part of your body. So you can't be satisfied and get happiness. That's why I say reason is only part of our mind. If we concentrate on our mind more than our reason, then we can achieve more happiness without money or everything, but a potential happiness that can bring you the satisfaction of your life. This comes to an important issue when dealing with some God that know all the facts, because God is a third person that has to observe everything. We can know this from the argument that says God is eventual and has potential power to change everything. That means he's not affected by individual point of views, but he knows everything and he can decide the thing that is most reasonable. So there is a trick. So you can't be God because your senses are limited. So there is a problem for setting a God as third person. But if you set a God as a first person and look back to your mind, then what you get is a sense of notion to know others, because everybody has a mind that is same, and we can treat that as a unit to know other person. So there is a trick. If you set a God and give him all the power that could change everything, then you have to neglect some part of your body. But if you concentrate on your body, then you can see everything, because your body is one unit, and every society consists of people that have same mind. So that's the one way to know others without setting a God, and to achieve more happiness and safety. So reason and reality. We have to recognize that our reason can be wrong to others. This is very confusing. For an example, let's say Obama is ambitious and has power. Some might argue that it is true for Americans. But how about for people in Iraq or Iran? Would they think Obama is a person who has ambition and strong power? They may, but they may think like others. So my reason is perfect, maybe perfect to me, but it's not perfect to others. It can be wrong to others. And to see this defect, we have to listen to what Jesus said. He insisted love as a primary value for living. The truth of this is love acts like a mirror. So if you love someone, then you can see yourself through the others. So that's why he insisted to love everyone, because you can see yourself by loving others. So that's one of the tricks he made. And by this way, we can see our faults and our wrongdoings or some misconceptions, and get on the right track to make better results. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and enjoy movie Matrix. Thank you. questions?
I just like to know why you put the picture of the Leonardo da Vinci. I'm not sure what the meaning.
Leonardo da Vinci,
Yeah.
Last Supper.
Last Supper in this reason and reality. You have some reason.
Yeah, in my opinion, although I'm not very good at that knowledge, but I believe he was a Buddhist because he insisted reincarnation, which was an idea of Buddhist. So he might knew the fact of mind, and I think that's why he insisted love so much, because he wanted to make the society safe, and he invented a tool for achieving the goal, and it is to love the others, and that's why I put that picture there. So this picture must not be produced because reincarnation is very different idea from Roman Empire, and I think that's why he died and left some comments about reincarnation.
Thank you.